The bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, seems to be back in the gym, back in training, back working out, looking to set up a potential fight for himself. Been seeing about October. They've been batting around the name of Robert Helenius, apparently for him to fight. Obviously, he has sparred Robert Helenius leading up to the Tyson Fury fight, the third fight. So, Robert Helenius, decent fighter, has been around, around the block, has fought in some good fights, and the guy does have a bit of pop as well in terms of his punching power. So might be a good comeback fight for Deontay Wilder, obviously after his loss to for in the trilogy to Tyson Fury. But Deontay Wilder back in the gym. Some people saying that he's retired. He was making music with his brother. He's been talking about doing other things, real estate, property. I think he's even got like a franchise for like I think he does have a franchise for of the burger chain that he used to work at before he even started boxing. So Wilder's got a lot of things going for him. Once you do make a lot of money in boxing, which is the aim of all fighters, do you still have the motivation? Do you still have, the motivation to get up in the morning, go to the gym, punishing your body with these punishing workouts, sparring? Do you still have the motive for that? Especially, after the longevity of a career, having more niggly injuries that you didn't used to have that you now have, waking up in the morning, pain in those arms, especially Wilder, that right hand, had numerous injuries with that. So most of these fighters, they do know after fights and stuff, they know what their body's saying and whether it's something they want to continue with. But Wilder looks like he's looking to carry on. He's got still got some big fights out there. I've said on my numerous videos in the past, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, are two fights I'd like to see Deontay Wilder in. Dillian White as well. I think he irons out Dylan White with the big right hand, but it's still in terms of the build up and just names on the resume. It is a good fight for Deontay Wilder. So there's still maybe 2 to 3 good fights. I feel like in terms of the top echelons of the heavyweight division, that I would like to see Deontay Wilder in. Some people say because he has already fought Tyson Fury, he's fought Luis Ortiz. I want to see a few more names. That just even if he knocks them out, spark out. Let me just see the fight, just see how the highlight reel looks in it. It's gonna be interesting. But some people like Michael Hunter. Was he gonna fight Michael Hunter? So you can see Michael Hunter. Here is this a fighter? Because this Michael Hunter fight would be quite interesting as well. Stylistically, could be quite difficult for Deontay Wilder, but when you're in the gym, standing here posing, does this, really look like someone that Deontay Wilder's going to be fighting? Probably not. But would be interesting to see Deontay Wilder fight a Michael Hunter. But what do you guys think, though? Deontay Wilder coming back into the heavyweight division. I'm happy about that. We need someone with that kind of punching power, that this kind of, this persona that he's got to this day, energy, bringing that over here. That's what we need. It makes it interesting, not just all this corporate thing, just, saying all the right things. Let's get some people, just shaking up the feathers a little bit, making, boxing a bit interesting. The Tyson Furies, the Wilders, the Dillian Whites, AJ's playing his own part. It all makes everyone's chipping in their own part, to the pie, and it makes everything a lot more interesting. But Deontay Wilder, he seems to have lost a bit of weight as well. Obviously, when he fought Tyson Fury, he was weighing quite a lot. I think he weighed around, I think it's 230 weights, bench press, protein shakes, trying to bump up to 238 pounds, obviously, to deal with the weight that Tyson Fury was carrying. And obviously, with his inactive or natural weight. Now, Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury in the first fight, he did weigh 212 pounds, I believe. No, was it 212? Was it 209 pounds? I think it was even, what was it? 212, was it 209 pounds? I think he weighed that 200. No, I think he weighed 209 pounds. I think he was as low as that. I was 212 pounds. And then he has kind of at the most rotated up to around 220-ish in his recent career. And then obviously 238 in the Tyson Fury fight. So obviously the 238 pounds, 231 pounds, he was only doing that to really offset the weight that Tyson Fury was carrying, just pretty much not to get bullied in the ring and pushed about. And to be honest, in the third fight, he wasn't really pushed about as much as he had been in the past. So it did kind of pay dividends in that sense, but the same Teague a lot quicker than he has in the past. And that is what one of the issues he did have, getting more tired in the second and in the third fight. Because 230 pounds, from 212 to 238, like obviously, that additional weight, it's not natural to him. It's not a natural, weight for him, putting on nearly over 20 plus pounds. You know, it's not natural, and that does put a bit of pressure in terms of, you know, the cardio in the ring. You know, being able to last longer, some of stamina, and I think he should stay with the fighters that he's going to be finding, the AJs or the Dylan Whites and the Ruizes or any of the other guys going to go there and get the highlight reels from. You know, doesn't need to be weighing 238 pounds to fight those guys. He needs to be light, quick. The original Wilder that we know, what light, quick, zipping, quick right hand reflexes are fast. That doesn't need to be that big. He's looking more stiff, a bit more cumbersome than he did in the past. You know, he doesn't really look. He doesn't not necessary for the fight. He's going to be fighting because there's no other Tyson Fury. There's no other guys out there weighing 270 something pounds. You know, and they don't move like Tyson Fury does, and they can't stylistically fight like Tyson Fury. So it doesn't really need to be that big. So what say you guys? Are you looking forward to seeing Deontay Wilder back in the ring, getting some highlight reels, some devastating knockouts? You know, they have the people are talking. Deontay Wilder talks about maybe he wants to fight in the top five. So we're talking about Usyk, AJ. Does he want to fight Dylan White? Hasn't really been looking. Excuse me, hasn't really been looking to fight Dylan White like that. So you know what? If Wilder is coming back, I wanted to see him in the big fights. I want to see him AJ against AJ and Usyk is going to look to go and fight for undisputed against Tyson Fury. We don't know what Tyson Fury is going to do. If Usyk wins, he can just retire. If AJ wins, will he stay and fight AJ? And then maybe Deontay Wilder can fight whoever loses that fight can fight them. And then I don't know. Maybe after undisputed, the belts might get splintered off because maybe if Fury wins, he might just retire and all the belts get split off. Then Wilder might have an opportunity to pick up a belt, or maybe he might wind himself and fight because anything can happen. Retire, but we don't really know what's going to happen. So Deontay Wilder coming back, people are trying to mock the thing and say, oh, Wilder's legs are skinny or Wilder's looking really, really skinny. You get in the ring and you take that big right hand. This guy, it doesn't matter whether his legs are skinny. That's just how he genetically is. His legs are skinny, but the big right hand is putting guys to sleep. That is, you don't need to be getting caught by that Alabama barbecue sauce or that right hand right there. So drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys are saying about this fight. Who do you think is going to win? If Deontay Wilder does fight Robert Helenius, do you want to see him fight Andy Ruiz? I feel like that'll be a very good fight. I feel see Andy Ruiz trying to become a little bit. To be honest, Andy Ruiz was trying to say he's trying to lose weight, but now I've been seeing he's been talking about going back to the old ways. I don't know what that means, but good Mexican, Mexican clash between, getting those Mexican, which would be quite big in the American market. People forget how high profile Andy Ruiz did become, especially in Mexico and with those Mexican Americans in America. So a fight against Deontay Wilder, with what Deontay Wilder brings, it'll be a mega fight in the United States. So people out there for Deontay Wilder to fight still in and about. So drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys are saying about this potential fight between Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius. And whoever Deontay Wilder will fight, let me know what you guys think about Deontay Wilder's comeback. Cool.